Welcome everyone. This is Robin West and I'm here to present to you about the Data Services Overview. Welcome and I'm glad you joined the session today. We're going to talk about what Data Services is and how you can work with us going forward and provide services to your customers and wonderful user experiences for your customers based on the data and information that you can get from Zebra through our data services. So what is Savannah and Data Services? Well, Zebra has long been known as a company who primarily provides hardware to support customers in doing everything from track and trace and other services like providing the ability to keep control of your employees and know what they're doing and help them to make the most of their day and how they're working, as well as being able to track your inventory and do everything along those lines. Well, all of those devices that Zebra provides are able to be connected to a backend service, to a cloud service now, and they can send that data up to Zebra Savannah, and then we can provide a huge number of cloud-based services on top of that, which really decouples you from having to handle all of that on a local system. We have a number of services that are surrounding all of our different types of devices, everything from barcode generation to printing, to working with RFID readers and our mobile computers. And then we're providing those services to you to provide applications that you can work with and that you can build on your own and or use the services that are in the applications that we're building based on those same services. So some of the benefits of working with the Zebra Data Services are that you can actually access a lot of the data from the edge. We're providing a lot of data aggregated and doing some of that work to put it all together for you and make it more comprehensible. And provide this sort of real-time guidance as to what you need to do with, with whatever your application is that's working with the Zebra devices. It also provides you with a lot of the information that you would need to work with Zebra in general, be it repairs or working with our support services or even working with our sales teams. Allows you to actually build your own solutions based on the same concepts that, that Zebra does to build our solutions, but it allows you to build them in a lot more of a cloud-based fashion than maybe what you've done in the past or what other solutions that are out there on the market. So providing these standard REST APIs that allows you to create these solutions for your customers or for your own company makes that a lot more simple to work with these devices that might be distributed across your entire supply chain or even just across your entire warehouse. Easy access means that not only are we providing you with the services, but we're providing you with the documentation that you need and the support that you need to use these services any time of day, any time of night, worldwide, and have that integration into your systems and do it on your time and your schedule, making it pretty easy to work with us. And then it's a common interface. So we are using standard REST APIs, and it makes it simple to integrate these services into your backends and into your front ends. So why do you want to do this? Why would you want to integrate with Zebra Data Services? Well, there's a lot of different applications that might be standard on a local standpoint. So in a manufacturing line, you're doing packaging and you might be building something. You need to label it and you need to make sure that it is the the product that it is, and that later on down the line you don't have issues with counterfeiting. So being able to do that printing and encoding at that point and do it from a centralized location is pretty important. Then once that product is created, it goes out to be shipped, and knowing, where it is as it's being shipped, from location to location is really important. So there's different data services to help you do that as well. And then once it gets to the warehouse, loading and unloading, knowing where it is in that process, knowing where it is in the warehouse, and how you can find it. Those are all services that are capabilities within data services as well, and gives you that sort of end-to-end visibility. And then once you're ready to, get it to its final location, staging it and getting it out to the yard and handling that aspect of things, there's a lot of different aspects that we can support and help you with on there. And then distribution. So knowing when it's being shipped, when it's being received, and when it actually arrives to the store as well, or whatever the final location is for that product. Being able to track that aspect of things as well. So essentially end to end, even across different suppliers and distribution partners of yours, we can help you track and trace through all of that, through that entire supply chain, and giving you that end-to-end visibility. And then out to the store. So this is a slightly more interesting view of the end-to-end visibility, showing that the products are moving between all of these different locations and utilizing different technologies to support that traceability. Most of what Zebra does has to do with traceability, whether it's traceability of a product or traceability and support of your team, to make sure that they have the tasks they need to do, and that they know, what their next tasks are and how to support your customers. So this entire process, being able to take all of the components of it down to the hardware level, down to the edge, means that then you can actually take all that edge information and bring it up to the cloud, provides that end-to-end visibility that's really important for being able to understand, the delivery of your products and services to your customers. So some of the different products that Zebra has for Zebra Data Services, we kind of categorize them into a couple of different groupings. One of them is the cloud enablement, which means essentially enabling our products, Zebra products, to connect to and integrate with the cloud. And so things like Visibility IQ are for mobile computers. So being able to understand what's happening with each of the mobile computers, understand any issues with them, understand battery problems, understand essentially the life cycle of that piece of hardware. That's what Visibility IQ is really going to help you out with, and is going to provide that end-to-end visibility for that. And recently, we've also released the printer-based services around that as well. You'll hear more about Visibility IQ from Dan Qualiana's session a little bit later, or either earlier or later today. And then the next service that we have is the data services for RFID. Which you'll hear a little bit more from Ben Horgan, as well as myself later on as well. Send file to printer is yet another one for doing printing-based applications. And then Lifeguard OTA is for enabling you to ensure that your mobile computers are always up to date with security patches and the latest and greatest firmware for you and your customers on your mobile computers. And then we have a set of value-added APIs that don't necessarily attach specifically to the hardware itself, but provide you with services on top of that. And those are things like the barcode generator, barcode intelligence, which we'll go to a little bit later on in this session, and some of the blockchain and ledger technologies that we've partnered with other blockchain giants to help provide to you. So you can find all the information about Zebra Data Services at developer.zebra.com/APIs. We have APIs both in production as well as we have a sandbox. So take a look at that site to find both the production APIs as well as our sandbox APIs. And most of them are very easy to access and be able to play around with. Almost all of them have either a trial time that you can use them or a free version of the service where you get a certain amount of usage per day or per week or per month, and allow you to work with those services and attempt to try and really get the most out of them, before you end up having to potentially pay for any of them. So that's where you'd go to find that. There is a getting started guide on that portal that walks you through the process of how to sign up and get access to an API key that you can use to work with most of these services. So the first service I'm going to go through in brief detail, because there's going to be a different session on this one specifically, is Visibility IQ. So Visibility IQ is a set of services that work around mobile computers and printers to provide you with the information around how those devices are being used, the health of those devices, from the devices themselves to the batteries on those devices, the life of any of that stuff, any issues that might be happening, like application not responding, any power offs, power ons, whether it's directed by the user or crashes on the device. So being able to give you that sort of operational information around those mobile computers and printers to really help you understand your whole product line, or your whole fleet of devices that you might own. Visibility IQ is great because it not only works with the Zebra tool sets, but if you have SOTI or an AirWatch or a number of the other EMM partners that you're working with, Visibility IQ can also work with those partners and integrate the same data and give you this level of information for those that kind of goes above and beyond what some of these device EMMs might provide to you. It's a little bit different view of it and might give you better insight, or might give you different insight than some of these EMM partners. Not that they're going to give you bad information. I don't mean that at all, but it's more along the lines of they're going to give you information around current state, give you the ability to do updates and push different things on this. This is giving you sort of more of a holistic view across all of your fleet of devices, and some different analytics and information that you might not have through those EMM partners. Visibility IQ does have a large number of services associated with it, everything from health APIs, availability, utilization, to actually not only the device itself, but understanding your contract with Zebra for support. So any repairs that you might have in or out of the system, any cases of support cases that you might have, your entitlements, all that information is also available through these APIs. So all of your contract information is available through these services as well. So that's another aspect of things that you might want to be, look into as far as if you're concerned about that sort of thing for your customers. The next service I'm going to talk about is data services for RFID. We've got a few different sessions on this later on. Both Ben Horgan and myself are running some more deep dives into data services for RFID. But at a high level, what this is a set of services for managing RFID readers, fixed RFID readers, for being able to capture read data coming out of those readers, and for being able to go back and historically look at the data coming out of your readers to understand, maybe the life cycle of a product or a item that is being tracked through RFID. or even life cycle of a location, what's been through that location. So there's some analytics that we can do off of that data and provide that through APIs to you. So these are a nice set of services that we have available. And like I said, we'll be going into some more detail on that in the future later on. The value to this is that it allows you to allows you to do location tracking for all your different sites. So if you've got a supply chain where you've got suppliers, distributor partners, and multiple different locations, stores, or different things like that, you can actually put RFID in all those locations, and provides you with that sort of real-time tracking of where it is within that supply chain. And gives you that information in a fairly speedy fashion. It also cuts down on the infrastructure costs because there's no need to actually install any hardware locally for this service to work. The readers are directly connected up to the cloud through your local network, and able to provide that information without having any on-premise servers or hardware, which really, especially if you're talking about multiple smaller locations, really is helpful to cut your costs when you're doing an RFID rollout. Being able to share and direct the RFID traffic is also really important. So part of the service is making sure that the data that is coming out of the readers, the traceability data that's coming out of the readers, is done in a fashion that you can control. And that not only means what is being actually sent to the cloud, but also where exactly it's sent to. So if you have multiple partners that you want to get specific data, you can set that up and send that information out to your partners. If you have multiple groups within your own business unit or within your own company that you want to be able to share different specific pieces of data, then that can be set up as well through here. So it's pretty useful. And then you can take that information and build your own software and tools to essentially manage the readers from anywhere you like. So the way it works, as I mentioned before, is the readers are connected directly up to the Zebra Savannah Cloud, and then the Savannah Cloud will direct that traffic out to the different cloud apps that are set up and ready and waiting to handle it. They are using standard webhooks and standard REST interfaces to work with those devices, so it makes it fairly simple to work with. So the next service, yeah, this one is when we do send you the data from the RFID readers, one of the things that we will be sending you is, or potentially being able to send you if you set it up right, is the GS1 decoded data. So we're not only giving you just the information on the tag itself, but we're also decoding it into a more usable GS1 format that enables you to do a lot more of that track and trace in a standard way. So it breaks that out for you in a nice way. So the next service I'm going to talk about is send file to printer. I believe there's another session on this as well today. So send file to printer is a API that allows you to essentially just send a file to a printer. This includes not only print jobs, so actual files that do printing, but it also will accept files that are specifically designed to help you configure the printer. So if you're doing configuration, if you're doing fonts, if you're doing images that you need to upload, all of those things are handleable through here. The only thing that isn't essentially is firmware. So that's the fun of this service, is that you can not only do printing through here, but you can also do other configuration services through this API. This one has both a free version and a pay-per-call version. And this one is also self-service through the developer portal. So it's a very simple API. You just put in your key information, the serial number of the printer, and the file that you want to print, and it'll go ahead and print it for you. It's really super simple. Barcode Generator is another great service that we have and provide. It's a service that essentially you can create and generate a barcode. There are other services out there, but we think ours is pretty useful and inexpensive comparatively to a lot of the other ones. So you can essentially create 103 different types of barcodes and change the positioning, scaling, rotation, any number of other factors with it, as well as the human readable options depending on the barcode type that you're choosing. So it does give you a nice PNG image that you can use. You can download it and put it into your applications. Makes it super simple to generate barcodes on the fly. So again, this is on the developer portal. You can pull it down, play around with it. It's pretty easy to work with and use. Barcode Intelligence is a set of services, and there's multiple to them, that allow you to essentially take a barcode, pretty much any barcode, and it will essentially look up and try to figure out what that thing is. So it's giving you the option of not only just taking a barcode as a barcode, but Barcode Intelligence allows you to sort of take it to the next step, take it to the next level, and explain what that thing is. So if it's a UPC label or an EIN label, it'll give you product information about what that product is. So, you know, a box of tissues on my desk, you can scan that in and it'll tell you it's a box of tissues from Kleenex, and that, you know, these are the price ranges over the period of time, might give you some links to some images online, huge amount of information around that product. It'll also look up books, it'll look up UDI information for medical devices. If you put in a barcode, it'll tell you, and it's a product that is part of the FDA system. It'll tell you whether or not there's any recalls on it. So you can do that with your over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, but also regular pharmaceuticals. You can put in the barcodes and say, you know, essentially if there's any problems with that. You can even put in the name of the pharmaceutical and it'll tell you if there's any current active recalls on that. The shipping information and vehicle information is also available. It does give you a lot of options, and there's even a version, or one of the options to it is you essentially put in a barcode and it'll run through and try to figure out what it is across all of these different databases and give you the information out. You can, if you know that it's a barcode that you're specifically interested in recall information in, you can go to the recall service and just do that lookup. Or if you know that it's a VIN number, you can go to that service and just look that up. But we also essentially have that service that kind of goes across all of these databases and verifies, you know, what it is across all of them. So it gives you some different options on how you want to actually look up that information and what you want to do with it. So looking up information around ibuprofen and children's products, whether or not there's a recall on them, different information around the the OSHA standards for them, for different products. So being able to look up different information is really what this Barcode Intelligence is for. So one of the other services that we provide is Lifeguard over the air. What Lifeguard is a Zebra service that we have that makes it simple for customers and partners to figure out if there are security patches within the product line for Zebra. So mobile computers, printers, that sort of thing. If there are issues that need to be patched, or even if just we're proactively making security patches across the firmware for our products, or just any of our updates for our products in general for firmware. Those are accessible through Lifeguard and Lifeguard over the air. Lifeguard service is essentially a service that you can look up and figure out, what the current patches are and pull them down. Lifeguard over the air allows you to essentially automate the process, especially if you are a EMM partner, enterprise mobility management partner. The over the air APIs are only available to EMM partners. So if you are an EMM partner and you would like to get access to these, contact your account team. If you are not, and you'd still like to get access to these, contact your account team and see if you qualify to be able to access them. But these do give you a lot of options for being able to manage your fleet of Zebra devices and make sure that they're always current and up to date and have the latest and greatest security patches that are needed for your products. So at this point, I'm going to let you know that if you'd like to have a further conversation, we'll be online at a Q&A session right after this. So please join me and we can talk through any of the details on any of these and go into how to work with any of them. So thank you.